Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report, as well as Joe Boo's day job. And it's been a while since I've done this, but I need to do it again because it seems like now that we've got COVID that's kind of coming back around, it seems to be that the price of lumber is going back up as well. I'm in Central Virginia right now, just taking a look, and the reason why I stopped to do this was I'm looking at OSB, which had gotten back down to about $17 a sheet, is now back up to $25.85. Yeah, so that's about a 40% increase for 7/16. Still not anywhere near the $48 range that we were in, but still quite high. I remember the last, 2008 when I built duplex from the ground up. It was literally $5 a sheet, so that's quite a bit. And as I'm looking at their prime, I'll let these nice people go through. At the prime kill dried 2x4s here, premiums, $642. So definitely getting back up about another $2.50 increase on those. Looking at some of the other lumber, our 2x6 10-footers up to $15.98. Yeah, it's definitely getting high again. Hopefully this is the peak of it and not going to be really bad. 12-foot 2x4s, 13, 6. Ooh, now this is about double what they used to be. 2x4 16-footers are up to $18.32. That starts to really add up. Although I will say that those look actually pretty good here, look-wise. They're 2x6s, $25.92. So definitely getting a little bit more than you want. Oh, come on. The 105s are $8.22. Now that's getting to be ridiculous. Let's check out the pressure treated lumber and see how bad that's getting, because come springtime, we all got to build our decks. Yeah, $9.78 for their prime. Wow. And the regulars, $7.98. Not good, not good. Springtime, hopefully it goes back down because I've got to finish rebuilding my deck. They're number 2s, $12.98 16-footers. That's not bad, at least. The decking board seems like they're not really bad. 12-footers, pressure treated. That's not bad. $9.78. During the height of the pandemic last year and the lumber shortage, those were about 22 a piece. So at least the pressure treated lumber hasn't shot up too bad. Let's check out the dimensional lumber. 16-foot, no, that's still kind of high. 16-foot 2x4s pressure treated, 19. 2x12s, 10-footers, 29. Yeah, that's still up there. I've got to rebuild some steps too when the weather breaks. 2x10s, yeah. It's not looking good. Before we get out of here, wow. Okay, $46. $46. Damn. $46.88 for those. Wow. Are you kidding me? Other thing is, I've got to get some more plywood because I'm getting my CNC machine to build it. I'm almost afraid to look to see how bad this is. So our Tech Shield OBS 55 a sheet. It was up to 97. Half-inch birch plywood. Damn, 53. Maple, it never really came back down. The thing I will say on this is usually I'll go ahead and get my dimensional plywood like this from Allied Plywood. It costs maybe a few dollars more, but you can see the gaps that are in here, the imperfections and stuff like that. It's got a little bit of a warp into it. You just get a better grade when you deal with A&M Supply for my plywood. At least that's me. That's the way I like to look at it. So they're sandy, which is not a great grade if you're talking about building cabinets. It's better, but you really actually like to use the birch because it's smooth. 64, which is kind of funny that it's that much. Millimeade. Millimeade used to be, I want to say about $20 a sheet for that. Underlayment used to be about $9.97, so definitely the prices on the lumber have literally doubled. Now, this is going to be something that I may end up using. I'm not crazy about using MDF and things like that, but now that I have, or I'm going to be getting the CNC machine, you can do like raised panels and things like that and doing different artworks and stuff with MDF. Stability wise, it'll stay nice and flat. Of course, you've got to seal it up really, really well. So I may actually try and use some of this stuff in the future, but the price of it, that's ridiculous. At that price, hell, $47 for half-inch sheet, $59 for a 3/4 inch sheet. I'll just use the regular plywood instead and know I've got a better product. TL11 hasn't changed too much. So that's what we've got. And basically half-inch plywood, $32.15. So there you have it. I haven't looked at this in a while at the building prices, but it's definitely going back up again. Hopefully this will be a hiccup. Hopefully we'll get through COVID quicker than we did last time, and we won't have the lumber shortages. I think what probably happened was the lumber yards ended up doing so much materials that it literally stockpiled up, and then of course they probably laid people off because they couldn't get it out of there. Because literally I was having people, say, hey, we got plenty of lumber to get you to buy it. So they probably slowed down intentionally to let the stock decrease and let the prices go back up. So we as the consumers have to pay more. So after being at Home Depot and getting the shock, looking at lumber futures, which normally goes by 1,000 board feet, which regularly stay in about $400, $500 per 10,000 board, 1,000 board feet, is up at 1170 right now. It has actually climbed like crazy. The respite that we had through the end of the summer until, I guess a couple of months ago, like I said, I hadn't been looking at it too much lately, but here's to kind of see. The thing is, there's still a lot of building that's going on, and I'm actually here in the small town of Waynesboro, Virginia, and everywhere I look, it's growing. So this used to be an elementary school that they tore down. Now they're doing, commercial space like that. I'm seeing a couple other places where you're seeing signs where it's going to be townhomes, single-family homes and stuff. So you've got COVID and lumber mills with less lumber. You've got global warming and dealing with imports coming from Canada. We, believe it or not, we get a lot of our lumber, especially our Baltic birch and things, from Canada. So you've got the tariffs that were put on there. You've got the global warming, which during the winter when it gets really cold, these wood-eating beetles would die off. But because the winters have been milder, they're not dying off, and so there's bigger there's more of them there that are eating on the lumbers. So you have all of these dynamics along with more demand, and we know that jobless numbers are down and people are looking differently at having to be in the big cities, that more and more people are moving out further. Real estate boom, all these things are putting pressure on lumber and building materials. And this is where, as we look towards the future, we have to start looking differently on ways of using materials, using different types of materials, because it takes so long for, say, oak and some of these materials to grow. You're going to have to start looking more and more at the bamboos or the quick growth trees and things, as well as other ways of building, including the 3D printing. They just built house down in Richmond, Virginia, completely with the 3D printer in a matter of a couple of days, which would have taken a lot more materials and so on. So hopefully technology can help us to get out of the cost and things in here and also help the environment as well. So that's all I got for you. Unfortunately, that's not good news for somebody like me that uses a lot of building materials. We're going to be, as soon as football season ends, we're going to start working on the red brick house, in which case I got to buy a lot of lumber to frame up the walls and redo the flooring up underneath of it and things to get it together. But it is what it is. The materials go up and the cost of it goes up, then the sell price goes up. So it's all still relative. Have a great day.